second and third quarters?
Well, I thought the issue was we weren't playing together to break their press. A lot of our turnovers came from our guard play thinking that you can dribble through their pressure. And the things that we worked on were to utilize the pass. And when we did utilize passing, we weren't turning the ball over. I thought the play of Cherry and Pointer led to a lot of those turnovers. They both had 10 on the game. And when you're turning the ball over at that rate and the team is able to capitalize off of 24 of your turnovers and half their points come off of the turnovers, you then start to look for a Mitchell to come in and step in and help, and she did just that. But it shouldn't have to be my four-man trying to help break a press. Our perimeter players have got to be able to handle that pressure. And when they did do it, it was them working together and not necessarily trying to be 1-on-5. And the way that Auburn plays their 1-2-2 and their 1-3-1, it allows for them to collapse and trap you well ahead of the ball, and you always want to have a release person. Well, anytime we got back past that first line, they're still coming. And so you've got to advance the basketball with a pass because it's a whole lot quicker. It's a whole lot faster getting the ball there. And this group is learning as we go. These have been two of the best defensive teams in our league that we've faced with Mississippi State and Auburn. And to also look at what we were able to do defensively. Mm-hmm. You know, our defense is holding opponents 50, 55 points a game, but our lack of offensive execution has really plagued our team this year, where we're not able to score the basketball at the rate that we need to.
It looked like y'all couldn't get the ball. You had the turnovers, but you also couldn't get the ball inside in the second and third quarters in the half court.
Well, you know, when you have two really good players like Faustine Afua and Liana Mitchell, you still got to have guard play that can knock down shots. And when we're not making those perimeter shots, teams are just going to collapse. And it's going to be really hard to get them the basketball because they're going to say, hey, we dare you to make those shots. But when we are making them, it's a totally different ball game. So we're gonna really have to, as we continue our season, continue the SEC play, it's got to be a balanced attack. You got to have perimeter players knocking down shots as well as our post game giving us paint points. And between the two of those, Ayana Mitchell and Faustine Afua, they went 12 for 22. So good percentage when you're 50% or better. And then the rest of the team went 4 for 22. So that's the discrepancy in the offensive execution of our game, and we're going to have to really take more pride in taking care of the basketball.
What do you think about your NCAA tournament hopes?
I think we're still in the conversation, depending upon what we do at the SEC tournament. I think we're still in the conversation. There was a year, a few years ago, where they took a cluster of us that were 7-9. Obviously, there's been other teams in different conferences that have not been 500 who've gone on to the NCAA tournament. We feel like we've got a tough strength of schedule, a really good one. We're in the top 50 there, and then our RPI is just getting better when you play in this league. You've got teams that are really good. Mississippi State obviously is a tournament team. Auburn is a tournament team. Whomever we may play first round, which could be Tennessee or it could be Auburn again, possibly. It's such a strong conference to play in. It's very competitive night in and night out. But I do feel like we're still in the conversation.